Need for Speed Prostreet is the most controversial title after the release of Underground. EA made a bold move by stripping away the open world of police chasing and street racing scenes in favor of some track racing actions. The idea is to promote legal racing and introduce technical tuning to the players. All that without being a sim. There's nothing wrong with it, but the execution is far from perfect. Away from the fictional scenic routes and urban sprawl, races take place in real venues around the world for the first time. Instead of stereotypical underground events and having trouble with the cops, everything is legally organized in a super festive environment. It has a variety of races, grip, drag, and drift just like previous titles, but they have all been split into even more subcategories to spice up the flavors. You can even have wheelie competitions. There is also a type of race called Speed Challenge where you have to ambitiously pin the pedal down to the floor and try not to crash at high speed. There is a story, but has no character development. But ultimately your goal is to race up the career ladder, pave your way to go head to head with all the bosses, defeat them and take their cars. To keep it racing oriented, every car you choose can only commit to one type of race, so you cannot drive one car for all races. But this is a good thing because you can play with a lot more cars than before. However, the handling physics is a complete letdown. The throttle is not progressive, steering feels disconnected. The driving is robotic, especially in drifting, where you don't feel being in control. I was also expecting to have fully manual transmission, but this game constantly overrides the gear change. Luckily, the sense of speed is strong as always, and the AIs are fiercely competitive. They also make mistakes like you and I do. You can no longer drive recklessly like before because EA has introduced a damage system. The more damage your car gets, the more cash you have to fork out to repair it. You can even total your car, which puts yourself out of action. It should make the players to be more responsible with the way they drive, however the damage is simply visual. While it tells your car's performance would degrade, it would still be able to travel over 300 km an hour under heavy damage, so it is practically non-existent. They may forbid you taking a damaged car to a race day, but once you're in, you are free to compete no matter how bad the condition your car is in. As long as you don't total it, you can just fix everything at the end, with a repair marker given for free. This makes a harsh punishing feature incredibly tolerant. Tuning is big in this game. As well as the usual power upgrades, you need to make technical adjustments to stay competitive. It gets people to fine-tune their ride. The downside is that nothing is explained to the player, so those who are new to tuning would struggle with technical words like this. Aerodynamic plays a part as well. You adjust it by changing the shape of the body through Autosculpt. Autosculpt is a flexible styling feature debuted from Carbon. So you need to decide between how much you want your car to look good and how smooth it can cut through the air. But some of these effects are really questionable. For example, allowing more air through this vent should increase drag and decrease downforce, not the opposite. Changing the angle of attack on the spoiler should increase both drag and downforce at the same time. But nothing changes here. Customization wise, the choice of body kits are few and most of them are shared with many other cars, which makes all the modified cars look really similar. They emphasize that auto-sculpting would prevent clashes of the same body kit design. However, that is never the case. The same graphical customization structure from Carbon was carried over, which allows endless creativity. However, the interface hasn't been simplified, so each shape are still labeled in numbers, and you have to preview every one of them to know what they are. Also, it takes forever to load. It would have been far less frustrating if they have included some preset templates.
It's his first appearance at React Team Sessions. The level of driving here.
Prostreet was released just after the PS3 came out. This means it was able to level up the graphics. The deformation was very well modeled, and so are the interiors. Sadly, the smoke is way over the top. Also, they didn't pay attention to the direction where the tire treads were going. The developers have also missed the opportunity to make some gorgeous scenery on some highway courses, because most of them look really rough and bland. There are also other various glitches like shadow error. Finally, the atmosphere is overly festive with commercial boards and balloons all over the place. And that dancing model make it look more like a strip club than a race event. The music chosen is overstimulating to the point of annoying. Well, I can't show you due to YouTube's Content ID system, but it is definitely for people who takes ecstasy all the time. That said, you would definitely appreciate the engine sounds and the noise of tires shredding away. Prostreet is not a perfect game, but it is full of ideas. It has a variety of gameplay that keeps you busy. It is just a shame that it wasn't well polished, which wasted its potential to be a runaway success. That said, it is still a better game than today's Need for Speed titles. So if you are driven by challenges, endless customizations, and tuning, then this is a game worth revisiting.
What happened last time when a couple of guys took a race out to the streets.